Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Acrysil Ltd Q2 and H1Fy22 earnings conference call. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company which are based on the beliefs, opinions and expectations of the company as on date of this call. These statements are not the guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Chirag Parekh, Chairman and Managing Director of Acrysil Ltd. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Parekh.
Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to the H1 FY22 earnings call of Acrysil Ltd. Along with me on this call, I am Mr. Anand Sharma, CFO and SGA, our Investor Relations Advisor. I hope everyone got an opportunity to go through our financial results and investor presentation, which has been uploaded on the stock exchange as well as on our company's website. I hope that all of you and your loved ones are safe. Post the second wave of COVID-19, we have witnessed pickup in economic activities and business across industries are coming back to normalcy. With large-scale vaccinations across the country and also in other countries abroad and significant drop in COVID cases, we see increasing confidence of masses, and this shall allow a more stable and conducive operational environment for businesses. We are witnessing a strong demand traction for our products in domestic as well as international markets. International demand is driven by changes in the preferences of the people and feeling greater importance of home as especially the quartz kitchen sinks. Demand in domestic market is driven by lower interest rates on home loan, government incentives, consumer preferences, larger spaces, preference towards home renovation as work from home has changed the mindset of people. Home improvement sector has been considerable growth as people are working from homes and it brought new approach and lifestyle at work. There has been behavioral shift in consumer preferences for both home improvement product with focus on health and hygiene. Perception of spending on more improvement and home solutions has changed with the pandemic as homes have become a hub of people's lives and one finds a new need to improvise and upgrade it. Coming to the company's performance, company reported a stellar performance with total income growth of 79% YOY and PAT growth of 123% YOY for the first half of FY22. Company has achieved EBITDA margin of 23.3% despite of high freight rates, cost situation prevailing across industries. Our raw material prices continue to remain stable. Company has been reviewing costs regularly and take measures to control costs. Export revenues grew by 79% to rupees 172 crores in H1 FY22. This was on the back of robust demand for international market and shift of consumer preference from stainless steel to quartz sinks in the major global markets. In domestic market, also the quartz sinks are witnessing a sharp uptick post the reopening of economy. Domestic revenues grew by 77% to rupees 45 crores in H1 FY22. With the pickup in real estate segment in India, along with consumer preference for both aesthetic kitchen products, we expect the sales momentum to sustain moving forward. The capacity utilization of manufacturing plant was impacted during Q1 FY22 due to the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic, Cyclone Tauktae and subsequent restrictions imposed by the government. However, the plant's capacity utilization has increased optimally during Q2 FY22. Coming to our capacity expansion, we have been consistently expanding our production capacities in response to spurt in demand. I'm delighted to inform the company has successfully completed the expansion of 140,000 units of quartz sinks announced in June 2021 with a short span of time. The manufacturing capacity of quartz kitchen sinks now increased from 700,000 units to 840,000 units per annum. The commercial production for this capacity has started in 25th October 2021 onwards. Our company is currently undertaking two capex plans of 160,000 units and 200,000 units of quartz kitchen sink, which are expected to be completed by Q1 FY23 and Q2 FY2023, respectively. The proposed capacity expansion will increase manufacturing capacity from 840,000 units to 1.2 million sinks per annum. The company will be approximately spending rupees 58 crores for the proposed expansion. The expansion will be funded through mix of debt and internal accruals. On the stainless steel segment side, our company is undertaking capacity expansion of stainless steel zinc by doubling the production capacity from 90,000 to 180,000 sinks per annum, with a small capital outlay of rupees 10 crores. The new capacity is expected to come on the stream by Q4 FY22. Our strategic partnership with IKEA is progressing well, and our company is supplying quartz kitchen sinks for their global requirement. The partnership is a perfect testament of our commitment to offer global standards of product. We expect this to further strengthen going forward. Our association with Grohe has further strengthened. Last time we entered a tie with them to supply stainless steel kitchen sinks also. International ties will help us to reach deeper into the core markets like our UK, US, and Europe. Our company has been continuously focused on branding activities. Our innovative and marketing initiatives significantly drive our brand recall. We continue to timely refresh our initiatives, keeping them in line with evolving market trends. In view with the belief, our company recently signed the Bollywood celebrity Miss Vaani Kapoor for new marketing campaign of our Acrysil brand, which will start by 15th of this month. The association with Vaani Kapoor will help to company strengthen its brand position and create a brand recall for lifestyle products among the youth. Our company strives to offer exceptional service in our brands. Acrysil and Sternhagen, with strong brand recall, stand proof to be unparalleled trust and confidence we have gained for our end users over the years. For Acrysil, we have received huge response from omni-channel sales. For Sternhagen brand, we have partnered with Suzanne Khan to launch premium line of products. At Acrysil, we are now driven by a passion for constantly innovative and consistently expanding. Our drive for innovative perfectly reflects a commitment to excel with time for offering the best-in-class product. We are focused on scaling operations, increasing in-house product development, and increase consumer awareness. Just one last point, which is not there. I want to add that the company is planning to focus on the online e-commerce platform, which is a smaller part of the company sales at this point. And the last board meeting, we've taken resolution to form a separate subsidiary, and we would like to boost this segment of online sales for the kitchen and bathroom products. Now I would like to hand over the line to Mr. Anand Sharma, CFO, to update you on the financial performance of the company. Mr. Anand Sharma.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Let me take you through the financial performance of the company. Q2 FY22 performance. The consolidated total income, including foreign exchange gain, stood at 121.9 crore for Q2 FY22 as compared to 77.1 crore in Q2 FY21. Y-on-Y growth of 58%. This was on the back of growing demand from both domestic and international markets. EBITDA of the company stood at 28.5 crore for Q2 FY22 as compared to 17.1 crore of Q2 FY21, recording a growth of 67%. EBITDA margin for Q2 FY22 stood at 23.4% as compared to 22.1% in Q2 FY21, recording an improvement of 130 basis points. Profit after tax and monetary interest stood at 17.7 crore in Q2 FY22 as compared to 9.4 crore in Q2 FY21, recording a growth of 88%. Coming to H1 FY22 performance, the consolidated total income including foreign exchange gain stood at 221.2 crore for H1 FY22 as compared to 123.7 crore in H1 FY21, recording a growth of 79% year-on-year. EBITDA for H1 FY22 stood at 51.4 crore as against 27.4 crore for H1 FY21, a year-on-year growth of 88%. EBITDA margin for H1 FY22 improved by 120 basis points to 23.3% from 22.1% on H1 FY21. Profit after tax and minority interest for H1 FY22 stood at rupees 31.1 crore as compared to rupees 14 crore for H1 FY21, recording a growth of 123%. Our net debt to equity stood at 0.4 times as on 30th September 2021. On annualized basis, our return on capital employed stood at 27.8%, whereas return on equity stand at 28.1%. Now, we will open the call for questions. Over to operator.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Pritesh Chheda from Lucky Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on good set of numbers and season's greetings. Sir, first question on the quartz side. The pace at which we are adding capacities is really phenomenal, and we continue to surprise on the capacity expansion. So one, if you could touch a bit on what's is there any back-to-back arrangement that you think is there for sales possibility for these type of capacity expansion? A little bit on the market, if you could tell us. And now on board, we are talking about a 1.2 million zinc. Do you think that by Q4 of next year, you should actually be fully utilizing that capacity of 1.2 million zinc? So this is on the quartz zinc side. My second question is on the domestic market, where we have both stainless steel and appliances.
Right.
There is a big tailwind in the market. We are seeing it across building products. How are you looking at this market, and what kind of growth rates do you foresee on the domestic side of the business and your preparedness for it?
Right. So these are two questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think the first question on the quartz zinc, there is a definitely preference shift from consumer point of view, and we have been seeing quarter on quarter the demand of the quartz zinc is going higher. This preference shift which I've been always talking since last I think many years, that if this preference shift from steel zincs to quartz, if this comes up, there is a massive opportunity for our company, and this is what exactly is happening now. While the company is doing everything to get new customers like IKEA, Grohe, etc., some large customers in the US like Menards, domestic market is opening. So yes, as we are penetrating across the world, but along with this combination of new customers and this and this growing demand for the quartz zinc, that is, I think, mainly because of the consumer preferences. And we have to understand that the quartz zinc market share still is only 10% of the total kitchen sinks in the world. So I believe that this is we assume sustainable growth. The demand of the quartz zinc, I think, will increasing year on year, and the company will, I think, will have to increase the capacity based on the market demand. Number two, on the capacity utilization. Yeah. So this 1.2 million is what is the current order booking position, and plus the forecast we see. We feel that this 1.2 million should minimum be the capacity expansion the company should do. We should not be in a situation that we start having a bad delivery track record. So looking at the demand, looking at the current order book position, and the new customer tie-ups, I believe that the company needs to at least do 1.2 million sinks. We should be finishing the 1 million sinks by April-May 2022, and we should finish the another 200,000 sinks, which take the capacity 1.2 million sinks, should be done by end of quarter 2 2022. Domestic front, we are very surprised what's happening.
So just one clarification here. So from a utilization perspective, as soon as your capacity comes on board, even from a utilization perspective, you will hit full utilization of whatever capacity comes on board in a very quick way, considering the order book visibility that you have?
Yes, that's what
okay.
We expect. Yeah,
okay.
That's what we expect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Domestic front, I think we've been pretty much surprised with how the government efforts and how this 1 crore vaccinations a day. This has completely changed the life. I'm right now in United States, and people appreciating what what India is doing right now. And I think we should be very, very stable in terms of economy, and we could see the big demand coming up. Yes, we had the Diwali season and all, but we see a sudden surge in the demand of the sinks and appliances. We had some probably record sales in domestic, what we are experiencing in terms of quartz sinks, steel sinks, and the built-in appliances. And we expect that this is going to be. We expect that 2022 is to even be a more robust growth for domestic market for sinks and appliances.
So we should not limit our vision to 1.2 million, right? In the quartz, considering that just 10% of the sink market, which is let's say 5 million on 50 million, for a company of our size, you think that you can actually reach a couple of million also over the next 3-4 years?
So it is a good good question. I just turn back the clock, and about just 10 years back, we were not even making 100,000 sinks. So from 100,000, we're looking at 1 million sinks now, trying to be the world's maybe third, fourth largest manufacturer. And this growth has been consistently coming in. So even if we go by this growth of CAGR 20 to 30%, what we've been doing, and this is the demand for quartz zinc is going to be there. And I think then, we are 100% not limiting ourselves to 1.2, and we will able to see probably a large increase in the demand of the quartz zinc.
Thank you. I request all the participants, please restrict to 2 questions per participant. If time permits, please come back in the question queue for a follow-up question. The next question is from the line of Manish Oswal from Nirmal Bang. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So you in your initial remarks, you pointed out that despite of the logistic cost, we were able to manage the margins. So whether we took a price hike to manage the margin, can you explain this statement, sir?
So 90% of our sales approximately are FOB based, and the freight rate is borne by the customer. That whatever the 10-12% what we have the SIF prices that we have taken a price increase from our customer.
Okay. And sorry, one data point, what is the total 1H volume of quartz, 1H FY22 volume, sir?
Shamaji, can you dig out?
Yeah.
What is it?
So first half quartz zinc is 3,01,273 units.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Pratik Agrawal from ASK Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good set of numbers. One maintenance question. Which one is cheaper, stainless steel or quartz? Because I was in your showroom and the quartz was like 8 to 12,000. Stainless steel was much more expensive. And I went with the opposite view actually.
Yeah. So I think we should understand that we have a full set of range of stainless steel sinks. So we have press sinks and we have the hand fabricated sinks. The press sinks are more conventional sinks, which are costing about 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. And then we have this quadro sink, which actually more squarish and modern in shape, which is about 10,000 to 12,000. So that's the price difference because it's a different technology and different manufacturing method. And from the consumer perception, it's been viewed this the more modern series, as a more premium product. Yes, and we have seen comparatively the quartz sinks are cheaper than some of our high-end stainless steel sinks.
Yeah, exactly. So if they are better as you claim, and if they are cheaper or similar, then obviously demand should be strong as people discover the product. I think people are simply not aware of the product.
And we also have the rise in the stainless steel sink prices, so that is also now making the gap between the quartz and stainless steel narrower.
Sure. The other question was on the other businesses. While quartz zinc is the major component of total, what is really happening to the other businesses? Stainless steel plus the other appliances that you sell, and QIP plans and the use of QIP money, if you could elaborate a bit.
See, if you have seen my statement and my announcement, we are already expanding the stainless steel to doubling the capacity from 90 to 180,000 sinks. All right. So that's what's also there is a big surge in demand on the stainless steel kitchen sink side too, and then maybe we'll expand more. If the demand continues to increase and India starts showing a robust growth, and plus if there is a shortage of products coming from China. There is a big supply chain disruption from China because of factories are not working at full capacities there. There are lots of issues, so people are looking towards better factories in India, and if you're able to deliver better quality sinks, and I think that there'll be a big surge in stainless steel demand too. As far as the appliances is concerned, I said that we have been recording some great sales, record high sales in built-in appliances. And we expect this category to continuously grow quarter on quarter. As far as the QIP is concerned, our progress is on. We've been, so we will let you know the right time when it's done.
Okay, but the amount was large in the context of the capex. You could actually increase capacity by 60% if you raise 150 crores. So could you give some insight into plan, or that's for later time?
You see, we have many projects under our belt. So at the right time, we will announce that the capex plan and why was the reason we are doing this QIP. So apart from what the current products will be manufactured, some very interesting opportunities which may come adjacent to our business. We can substantially add value to our business in terms of growth.
Understood. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you. I request all the participants, please restrict to 2 questions per participant. The next question is from the line of Varun Arora from GE Shipping Family Office. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity and congrats on very good numbers. So my question is related to the capacity expansion, the rate at which we are expanding, it's quite phenomenal. So wanted to understand, previously we've mentioned that we were kind of constrained for capacity for domestic market. Now with this capacity expansion, do you think that we can meet both the exports as well as domestic market demand? If you can, give some color as to how the domestic market is shaping up. This capacity expansion that we are doing, is it based on the order book that we are purely getting from the new customers and existing customers on the export side, or is it also like you're building in some increase, on the demand side for the domestic market?
So I think the capacity expansion, the last 200,000 is definitely keeping in mind the Indian market. There is a definitely surge in demand in India, and again from the preference point of view, and I said that the stainless steel prices are increasing, so people are preferring more quartz sinks. That's what it seems like, and I think this demand is expected to rise quite high, and that's why it's the main reason where we had to additional expand another 200,000 sinks. The main increase of this expansion is looking at the current order booking position and the forecast we've been receiving and the expected surge in demand we expect in the domestic market based on what the current order booking is.
Right. So my second question is related to, you mentioned that you reckon that growth appears sustainable. So here the question is basically at the industry level, previously, historically, have we seen some sort of cyclicality as far as the demand for quartz zinc is concerned? The reason I ask this, I believe, the demand is also a function of new home construction. So clearly, right now, where the global interest rates are, it's on an upswing. But previously, have we seen that the demand for quartz zinc, is it linked to new home construction, and hence, any sort of cyclicality in the demand that we've seen historically?
No, so historically, the export market is mainly the demand and the growth is driven by the renovation, because every 5 years a kitchen is changed, 4 or 5 years, and in India largely demand is by the new construction level. What has changed, the pandemic has changed this. Now what has happened is people are moving out from they're having kind of second homes in the world. Like I'm in US right now for business trip, and I've been speaking to my clients here and saying the surge is surge is quite huge here. If you go to Home Depot store and Lowe's and all the large retail stores, there's still queues and queues. People are, and now that's having mainly a renovation of the homes. And like I said in my last speech, in India also, the renovation trend was never there in India, but now because of the pandemic situation, people have, instead of buying new homes, as you know, the real estate sector is not the best right now. So people are starting renovating and I would say upgrading their homes. And the kitchen sink is probably one of the more integral part of the kitchen which needs to be changed. So I believe largely this demand has been driven now largely by renovation market.
Right. Thank you, sir. All the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Udit from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Congratulations for a great set of numbers. So one thing that when we plan for any capacity addition, is it based on the pre-orders that we have in hand? And if so, then which are the pockets or geographies that you are seeing this kind of robust demand that we are so, backed by a huge capacity addition?
Yeah. So like I said earlier, the capacity increase is taking out of the current order booking position, and then what we expect, speaking to our customers, the likely increase going to happen. And also to taking into consider the surge which we've been seeing in the domestic market, and preference shift to quad sinks, higher price of stainless steel sinks. So I think all these factors put together, uh, uh, the I would say that it is at least, I think our company should start making now inroads to build up capacity in order not to lose customers, because the demand, it can also even further surge. The geographies, I think it is across the world. I would not say, but our main markets are India, America, UK, Europe. So mostly it's been driven by that. And you have large customers like Grohe, IKEA and all, which apparently sell your products across the world.
Sir, and on the last, the clients that you mentioned, so are we in a process of, getting newer clients, or we are deepening our pockets with the existing ones? Like what kind of demand is that?
No, our efforts are continue. Our efforts will continue uh, to tap more and more customers. Our efforts will be there, like we export to more than 50 countries around the world. We have a plan to, the next 5 years, to do at least 75 to 80 countries. And in the next 8 to 10 years, we need to want to cross 100 countries. So we have a export development cell, and I think that continuously will tap the export market to grow. In the domestic side, we will now focusing more on uplifting the current dealers to large showrooms in order to increase the revenue and to make and to enhance our brand equity in the domestic market.
But, and so just last,
Sorry to interrupt you. I'll request you to come back in the question queue. Thank you. I request all the participants, please restrict to 2 questions per participant. The next question is from the line of Shurit Devra from Paladin Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, good evening. I just wanted to point out that you've done a phenomenal job with the expansion, and it's really commendable the pace at which you guys are expanding so consistently and so quickly. I think it's a great job, and I really would like to congratulate the team for that. I have just one question on, or one sort of clarification. My presumption earlier was that the QIP money was being used for the greenfield site, because the existing site could only support 1 million sinks. But it seems like you're able to expand with internal accruals beyond 1 million. So I'm just trying to understand, is the 200,000 expansion that you've announced, is it in the same location, or is it already at a new location? And therefore the QIP money is for something completely different, which you've just alluded to earlier in this call.
So all these expansions, the last 2 expansions are more on the greenfield, on the greenfield product, right? Fortunately, the company is able to sustain the EBITDA margins, and we have good internal accruals. So I think to a large extent, this has helped us for the company to grow with with internal cash accruals, and the debt levels, like my CFO said, the ratio is quite close. The banks are quite eager to fund us. So I mean, sometimes the margins could have gone the other way, but we're happy that we're able to sustain the margins. We're able to get good internal cash accruals, and with the help of debt, we are able to fund these new projects by ourselves. As far as the QIP is concerned, as we are saying, we are continuously growing in all the various categories to quad steel sinks, built-in appliances. I think our endeavor is to start manufacturing as much as we can, to put up new manufacturing facilities across the our categories. And we also see some very interesting opportunities adjacent to our business, our current businesses, and which could be very exciting for our company in terms of growth revenue for future. So we should be using whenever the QIP is done. I think we have there are lots of opportunities, and we should be able to use this money for this growth, for the quartz zinc and the other interesting opportunities around.
Okay. Adding to this, I think the question is this 200,000 coming. This is coming at the existing and the new facility. So it is combination of both. So we are optimally utilizing the space of level with us.
Location is adjacent to the current Acrysil facility.
Thank you very much. Sure, I'll request to come back in the question queue. The next question is from the line of Nikhil Gada from Abacus Asset Managers. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity and congrats on a great set of numbers. So my first question is regarding our German partner, Schok, who is planning to set up capacity in US. Just through some media articles, we have come to know about this. Can you help us understand how this would shape up the US market for us, whether it will increase the competitive intensity, or do you think it will, overall expand the pie for the quartz zinc?
Yeah, so we also came across this article, and this is over the period of 4 to 5 years they plan to invest this money. Honestly, I think from the price competitiveness, I don't know what are but honestly, that's their problem. I don't think so as far as we have seen the other competitors manufacturing units which they have put, in Europe and North America. I just honestly don't know how the CBA for them is going to work. So that's on terms of. So we are not quite worried as far as the cost competitiveness are concerned. I think our volumes are growing in this part of India, and we should be more and more price competent. So I think that's one. As far as the overall, I don't think so that the competitiveness is going to increase, but I think the overall demand of the quartz zinc itself, this is one of the important signs that what the companies are looking in future as far as the demand of the quartz zinc are concerned. Now, the Schok has probably put the unit just for the U.S. market and selling in the U.S. market. So what we see is that only we can see is that the demand of the quartz zinc in the market share, the quartz zinc being very exciting over years to come.
Understood, sir. And so just the second question, post this 2 lakh expansion at adjacent to our plant in Bhavnagar, do we still have further room to add more capacity over here, or we will have to just completely look at a different location to add further capacity?
No, we have to. Even the last 2 expansions have been done by adding greenfield projects. So we have to. Our company is now planning to acquire some large pieces of land around Acrysil. So our company is trying to get a land bank so that that if we have further capacity expansion, we have land.
Understood, sir. Sir, I just have one bookkeeping question if I can ask it right now, or I'll come back to it. Sir, so just on the A&P side, now that we're expanding in the domestic market, how do we see our A&P spend shaping up over the next couple of years? Are we going to go full-blown into the advertising part of it, or we will still try to do more BTL activities?
No, I think you will see a lot of activation as far as the A&P is concerned. One is one of the signal what the company that the company is now looking to focus on the Indian market, and we would be year on year increasing our budgets on the the A&P side as far as India is concerned. So you will see a lot of activation from our side, the brand, from the perspective of the brand building. We recently hired a brand manager also to handle all the branding activities in India. So yes, we would be looking more and more activities around A&P to build a Acrysil brand in India.
Thank you. A request to all the participants, please restrict to one question per participant. If time permits, please come back in the question queue for a follow-up question. The next question is from the line of Dhavan Shah from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, sir, and congratulations for the superb result. So I have a question regarding the industry growth. So I think whatsoever our numbers are growing, so it is it in line with the industry growth, or are we capturing market share from the other players also?
So whatever news we have, I think, whatever the news we have, all the quads manufacturers across the world are quite busy because there has been a soar in growth and demand on quartzing across the world, and all the factories are full right now manufacturing quartzing, and there is still ample growth what we see. So by and large, yes, I mean there could be a little bit of cannibalization of we taking over some market share also, but largely I think it's driven by new demand for quartzing.
Okay. And secondly, I just wanted to understand about the input inflation. So based on the gross margin, I think it seems that we have taken price growth also against the input price inflation.
Right.
So I wanted to understand because I think our contracts are mainly revised on the calendar year basis. So how much price revision are we going to take from the next year? Because based on the answer, the volume numbers for the quartzing for first half, our net realization for quartz comes to around 5,600 rupee a sink as compared to around 5,800 rupees a sink last year. So maybe there should be some, the size-based differentiation maybe there. That's why I think realization might come down. But I think if you can share, I mean, what price inflation have we taken for this year and maybe what can be there next year, if you can share.
See, technically our export prices have gone higher, so maybe there were more CIF prices sales and less ex-factory. We have moved to ex-factory sales because of this large variation of the freight. So per sink price value realization has increased and not gone down. That's point number one. The point number two is we have increased the price with our customers 3 times during the calendar year. We do not have a price increase, maybe with 1 or 2 customers, but even that we've been able to manage to break through it, and we have got a price increase for it. Largely, you see the improvement in the margins, EBITDA numbers is because the company, even with this volatile situation as far as the input costs are concerned, freight charges are concerned, the company is able to sustain the margins. And so we have gone for a 3 price increase during the calendar year. So I think we should be fine, honestly. But we'll see anything which comes more the next calendar year. But right now, I think we have secured the margins of the company by passing on the price impact to our customers.
Just to add here, whenever there is an increase in domestic sales of the quartzing, the overall price realization will be lower. And since in the second quarter, the domestic sales will increase, so it has some impact. And number two, we are focusing more on the FOB price. So overall, if CF component lower, FOB is higher, then the per sink realization will also be lower. But it has no impact on our margin. We have protected our margin, and whatever increase required to pass on the cost, we have already done. It's already explained by sir.
Thank you. A request to all the participants, please restrict to one question per participant. The next question is from the line of Ajay Vora from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Congratulations on good set of numbers. Just wanted to check, when we are talking about this existing product range, and the interesting opportunities which you are looking at. Broadly, what do you think is really missing within the product basket which we are offering right now? What are we looking at in terms of growth opportunity?
Good question. So first of all, we are trying to convert as much as the traded activities, traded products are coming into manufacturing. So we have already, I think last time I said that we are planning to start the manufacture kitchen hoods for made in India, because we are looking at a big demand coming from export and for India. When you have aligned with large customers like IKEA, Grohe, Menards, and many large customer base across the world, so you have a huge basket of kitchen and bathroom product which you can put in the channels. And like I said, that China, there's a lot of issues with this supply chain, and we have a large opportunity. So I think first of all, we're trying to convert into manufacturing, and we want to gain our competitive edge on that on terms of technology also. Second thing, the ceramic products, we've been receiving a lot of inquiries for ceramic products, but high technology ceramic products, which I believe that kind of a technology in India is not available. So these are all could be interesting projects which we can manufacture sinks and the bathroom product will give a boost to the stone argan category. If at all we come, it will be a big boost to the stone argan category. We able to compete with the local manufacturers in India, and we able to gain a large market share. Very other interesting edges of opportunities like which we have been seeing a huge surge in, for example, faucets right now, the taps, the kitchen tap, because kitchen taps are going along with the kitchen sink. It is kind of it's by integral part of the sink. Then if we can, I'm saying, look at opportunities to make kitchen faucets, so you can pack it with the sinks and grow the as many sinks you sell, you can sell faucets. So there are opportunities around. The company is constantly trying to see. We do not want to move our focus right now because the demand of the kitchen sinks is so high. But as and when the time permits and we see interesting opportunities, we will be immediately jumping onto it.
Sure. No, very interesting perspective. So this ceramic thing, I'm assuming that if that happens, it will be through inorganic route.
So we have not still. There are different possibilities, but all I can see, if we go into ceramic, it will be a very different kind of high technology ceramic product which get a potential to sell in the large to the large players across the world.
Thank you very much. I request all the participants, please restrict to one question per participant. The next question is from the line of Akshay Chheda from Cantor Robeco. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity. Just so on the domestic side, I wanted your sense, like now we will be focusing strong on the domestic side. So how do you see the competitive intensity in the domestic market? Like I assume that it would be largely dominated by the steel sinks and it would be more of the unorganized players. So how do you see that competitive intensity? And secondly, also, how would you be increasing how would we tapping the domestic market? Like would we continue with our dealer distributor network, or then we would be also looking to tie up with some large developers, be say Godrej Properties or something, because then more on the B2B side. So how do you see the domestic market? So yeah, these were the two questions. Thank you.
Largely on this, since I think the last sentence of yours on the project Godrej, like we obviously we had a huge tie-up with Godrej Properties for stainless steel sinks. So largely our low-priced sinks we trying to sell to the large builders and property developers. Yes, we have some tie-ups with large property developers, but that is our cheaper range of stainless steel sinks. But our company has been always very margin focused, so we do not go below level. So we've been always Acrysil as a brand, been looking at a premium product, and we are not a mass seller like other brands. So I think that's and number two is the quartz. There is always a clear strategy between the quartz and the stainless steel sinks. So for quad sinks, more of the quad sinks, the preference based on the market geographies, we've been selling across the dealers and also into the builder segment. There is a geography, many geographies in India, they only like stainless steel sinks. So we try to offer them the new stainless steel quadro sinks, which one of the gentlemen was talking, it is higher price than quad sinks. So I think there's a market differentiation strategy for us, with which material we want to penetrate the market. I don't know if I've answered your question, but
Yeah, I got it. Basically, just I wanted to understand, like, if there is a possibility of a margin hit going ahead. But yeah, that's fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yash Kothari from Citrus Advisors. Please go ahead.
So firstly, amazing results. Congratulations on that. I just wanted to know, in your last con call, you had said that every additional 1 lakh units that the company brings in as capacity, it adds to around 45 to 50 crore of revenue. So does that still hold true?
So our current price realization is about 5,500, I think. If I look at the current 5,000, so I think every 100,000 would add probably about 54-55 crores.
So in that way, I would assume that the 2 lakh units that are coming, that would obviously add to 100 crore of top line.
Yes.
Okay. So following up on that, you had given a target of 500 crore revenue to be achieved in, I think, 5 years in your last con call and in the one before that. And looking at the figures already, I think you've already reached a 400 crore top line if I look at the trailing 12 months. So do you think you can probably make an adjustment to this target and give a higher target to us, probably, since you're almost 90% there now and in less than, obviously, 5 years? So
that's a good question. So I honestly feel the long term has become short term for us. I think it is a very good sign, honestly, from the company's perspective. And yes, we are already, if you look at the last quarter, 122 crores quarter sales. So we already had a 500 crore annual rate. Plus we have a lot of expansion and things in place. So I think the times are quite interesting. I think we are already, I will not need to, but you will probably see some statements coming from my new vision statements coming in soon, that how we're going to now realign our growth strategies and what are the new targets we're going to set for the company.
All right. Looking forward to that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aman Vij from Astute Investment Management. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Just one question from my side. So, if you can talk about currently, how much does IKEA, Menard and Grohe source in terms of sinks globally, and what kind of market share are we targeting in next 2-3 years? And do you think we can cross, say, 100 crore per customer, these big customer, in the next 1-2-3 years?
So unfortunately, we don't have data, but all we know that in their presentation that they are what they lift the granite sinks is at a phenomenal level. The buying power what these guys have and the reach they have across the world, I mean, it's very, very huge. As far as we're concerned, all we can say is that, unfortunately, because of the contracts, we cannot unveil what we're doing with them. But the numbers are concerned, all I can say, they are substantial. They will be substantial, I would say, year on year. We have just last month got an email from IKEA saying that you have complied 100% with the deliveries, and we have gotten about a 5-star on them. And the more and more this kind of accolades, we have. All I can say is that the business with them it can only further increase. And yes, I think there's whether it's 100 crore or more, but company would obviously would like to maximize the share of business with these companies. The company is doing every bit. We are continuously expanding our sales with them by adding new models and by increasing the production capacity.
In terms of quad sinks, are we the number one, number two, number three supplier to these companies as of now?
So we have just a bigger relationship. As far as grower is concerned, we are the single source for grower. As far as IKEA is concerned, we are one of the sources. But like I said, that they are very happy with our, with our commitment, and all we can see is in future just our business share increasing year on year with them.
And for the Menard also, if you can talk about.
Menard has been going very strong. I'm right now, as we're talking, I'm in US and I have con calls with my customers there. So I think they're very strong. The surge, the big demand, it's been going quite well. And we are adding more and more models in United States. For example, the Kitchen and Bath International Show, which is the largest American show, which is taking place in February 2022 in Orlando, Florida. We decide with our strategic partners to the largest display of quad sinks in that show. So that would be probably the largest range of quad sinks in North America we will be able to exhibit here. So there's a lot of commitment from our side for the US market, and with many partners like Karan, Menards, Kraus, and all we can see is we just basically want to support this demand what's coming up in the US market.
Sure. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraint, that will be the last question for today. I will now hand the conference over to Mr. Parekh for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you. I would take this opportunity to thank everyone for joining on this call. I hope we have been able to address all your queries. For any further information, please get in touch with our strategic growth advisors and our investor relations advisors. Thank you once again and stay safe. God bless.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Acrysil Ltd, that concludes this conference.